Welcome to Band For Abit.
I'm Pete.
I'm Green.
You're what?
Good.
Okay, good. Right.
So
So
high speed.
leading on from our last video on wireless or not.
Last week's video. Yes, we spoke about. What did we do? We did wireless instrument audio inputs, wireless guitar leads, wireless guitar.
So I want to talk about in-ear monitoring now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, if you watched last week's video, you'll know that I don't bother with wireless guitar. So, while I was playing with in-ear monitoring for the first time the last couple of years, I bought a wired system. Because I figured, hey, I'm tethered by a guitar cable, so what the hell does it matter if I've got a wired system?
Wait a minute. Does this mean you actually have there's leads coming out your ears to a part?
The way I have it is, I've got an XLR coming out of our mixing desk to a headphone amp underneath my pedal board. And then out of the same side of my pedal board comes my guitar out input. The guitar input comes out goes in at the same point the headphone amp comes out. So I just route the leads together, stick a bit of gaff around, and then I've got my on a headphone extender. And then I loop that round with my guitar cable, plug my headphones into the extender, in-ear monitoring system.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of doing it. Like, why would you not just get a wireless in-ear monitoring system? But, like...
Because,
you know...
Tell me how much wireless in-ear monitoring systems are.
I don't know how much we pay for ours. So Paul, our singer, he bought a set. I think we have a set of... I think we have 3 or 4. I think we have 3. I'm pretty sure we have 3.
So, hang on, wait.
Our drummer
is that
actually plays to a click.
Is that 3 receivers with 1 transmitter? Or is that 3 transmitters and receivers?
I think it's the 1, but it can definitely be controlled different. It can definitely have multiple control, because we've had engineers being able to give more and stuff, but I think it's just the 1 transmitter with the engineer being able to control what that receives. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense, would it? We definitely get different. It definitely gets different mixes. Like, definitely, because Paul's and Chris's get different mixes. I'm sure they do. Paul normally wants just vocals, to be fair. He normally just wants to hear himself, I think, a lot of the time. So, my opinion on in-ear monitoring, okay? I've only ever used it once in band. So, my opinion is a little bit skewed. I've never used it at a gig.
What did you think?
Because I guess at a gig when I play bass, I often don't mind if I don't hear the bass that much. So I've never really had a gig where I've thought, there has been a few gigs where I've been like, oh my God, I literally couldn't hear anything apart from the drums or something. And then that's really annoying. You can't hear the other things. But I never needed it for that. I would try it again. I wasn't a huge fan of it at band. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a huge fan of it in band. Paul swears by it, our singer. Chris uses it as well. It definitely comes in handy if you're at a gig where they've not got monitors, or they've not got a good monitor mix, or monitors are just a bit shit. I wasn't that into it, I'll admit, but as I'll say, I would definitely give it another go. I feel like my time with it is a bit skewed because I only used it once in band, and I never have an issue hearing the bass much anyway. If I really wanted to hear myself at a gig, then if that's the kind of player I was, that I really have to hear my bass, then actually I would use them, I think, because it was definitely clearer coming through than our monitor normally is. But in fact, if anything, it was actually in band for me a bit distracting hearing the bass out loud. But I guess I could change the mix up a bit and things like that, I guess. So that's my opinion on it. I neither love nor hate it. I just couldn't get into it the first time I used it, but I would try it again.
I've heard this a few times from a few different people. I really like it. I didn't really like it at first. It took a lot of getting used to, and it took a lot of like. So hearing a guitar amp just coming out of the speaker of the guitar amp, and hearing a guitar amp mic'd up are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
So I had to get used to that. So what I did was I was rehearsing in here with my in-ear monitors in, just trying to get used to it, because it is a very different thing. And I felt a lot of disconnect from like the crowd and things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you feel does it change your perception of the gig? Like, I don't wear plugs on stage.
It really does.
Because I feel like
the big thing for me was I was trying earplugs, and I was trying to. I've never tried molded earplugs. I've not gone that far yet, but I was buying like £60 a pair, like really good, just standard earplugs. That were okay, but as much as they all say these are flat frequency response, you can hear everything. It's just like you've turned everything down. It's not. It's really not. Molded might be different. I haven't tried molded. Molded is probably my next step. So I thought I'll give in-ears a go. Because then obviously I can hear my guitar. That's fine. Like, I won't have a problem hearing everything. It's more like the interaction and the experience of the sound. Rather, does that make any sense? Like,
yeah, no, it does. It does. I think that
it's like being at home and listening to.
It takes a lot to get used to.
Yeah, it's like being at home or in the car. Right, it's like being in the car and listening to your stereo cranked up, compared to being out for a walk and having headphones on. That's exactly what it's like. Like, it's miles better having it cranked up. Like, you can feel the bass. You know, like, it's more of a visceral experience. What you're still getting that, but then weirdly you're getting like this quiet or more quiet noise in your ears. It takes a lot of getting used to. I really liked it, which is why I've not sprung for a wireless yet. I am going to spring for a wireless for this year, because we've got some big gigs coming up, and I just think it's going to be very useful. And if we do manage to get these backing tracks sorted, we can hear how badly wrong it's going without having to rely on an engineer.
True. Well, that's the thing. And to be fair, big bands use wireless systems. Like, a lot of big bands live, they all have in it. You see them all with like in-ears and plugs, but normally in-ears.
A lot of like pop gigs and stuff now, where there is a guitarist on stage, they don't have amps. Everything's digital. So actually, there's no guitar sound on stage. So they need wireless in-ears to hear what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, because they don't have. Yeah, so I would try them again. I'm not giving up on them yet. I like the vibe of being on stage without plugs in, so I think it would take me personally a long time to get used to it. I'm interested to know what other people think, if they've had experiences with these things, if they've had them, if they've got them, if they're thinking about getting them. Why don't you let us know in the comments below?
I think they're great. I do like them, but they do take a lot of getting used to.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps me with my tinnitus. I've got really bad tinnitus.
Yes, well, I did tell you when we were in band years ago to wear plugs in band.
Yeah, but plugs are so crap when you're a guitarist. Wear plugs, guys. They're really good for you. I really hate them. I really hate earplugs.
There's such an advert for earplugs. We might do a Band For Abit on the use of earplugs and like different brands and stuff.
The best earplugs I've found are ear razors, and I will drop a link to them in the description down below. They are the best ones I've used so far. I think I had to import mine from America. They're about £55.
£55 on a pair of earplugs, but it might save your hearing. That is important.
Oh, it definitely will save your hearing, but it's it's still not right.
Awesome. I think that's all we've got time for this week.
That is all we got time for this week. We are on all of the good podcast places: Apple, Google, Spotify, podcast places like that. We're obviously on the YouTubes, we're on the Instagrams, we're on the Facebooks, we're on the MySpaces, we're on the Habbo Hotel, we're on the Bebo, we're on Pokemon Go, we're on SoundCloud. We're not on SoundCloud. We're on Bandcamp.
Clash Royale, Jam Kazam. We're not on any of these places.
This week's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. What did you say? Jeremy Kyle?
Jerry Cola. Jeremy Kyle. Whoa, you can't say that.
Can you not? Jeremy Kyle bad word now.
No, you can't, but you can. But they cancelled it, didn't they? Because of that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.